This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 train. The next stop is Wall Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. This is Not Your Advisor with NYU Grad, January 24th, episode 371. We are now in a new AI frontier. Welcome aboard. Let's go. Let's cover today's markets. So, pretty bearish session for this day, but surprisingly, many of the macro indicators, which should be green and opposite of today's action, were also red. Predominantly, the 10-year yield, the VIX, are typically in opposition of whichever way the markets are trading. So looking at breadth, we had 620 new highs on the NYSE versus 97 new lows. 51% of stocks were advancing versus 45% declining. 46% below the 50-day moving average, 43% below the 200. Taking a quick look at mega cap, not much green in the Mag 7. Most of them were red except for Google and Meta. Alphabet was up 1.1%. Meta was up 1.7%. The rest were all red. Nvidia bleeding the most again. Nvidia down 3.1%. You had Tesla down 1.4%. Amazon was down 0.25%. Apple was down 0.39%. And Microsoft a little bit over 0.5% to the downside. Looking at sectors, technology led to the downside, down 1%. To the upside, you have communication services up 1.08%. Utilities 0.5%, consumer defensive 0.5%, real estate 0.4%, healthcare 0.4%, financials 0.25%, basic materials up 0.16%. Now, let's keep going here. Let's keep peeling on this AI onion. AI can do a lot of things, and hypothetically, it's going to replace a lot of human jobs. But until that happens, humans have to create the energy to enable our replacement. How ironic is that? So I would like to compare what's happening on with AI today in America to the frontier in the 1800s. Now, sure, there was real gold in the ground. There was real silver in the ground. Many immigrants migrated here for the opportunity to go west and mine and stake a claim. No one told them about all the dangers, obviously. And in order for a few big winners, we needed a lot of losers. And I think that is what's going to happen with this AI frontier. And we need a lot of promoters. And we have a ton of promoters out there, whether you're looking at Dan Ives, who had just put out a tweet that their firm is raising their target on Oklo, which is Sam Altman's nuclear mini power plant company, into the 40s. And Oklo is up over 100% since I had written about it back in October. Obviously, I'm not as followed as Dan Ives, but yeah, I'm part of that promotion mix as you march your way with your luggage into the wild, wild west of AI. But keep in mind that there are going to be many losers in this AI endeavor and enterprise. Now, just for fun facts, I've dug up on the web a few contracts or tickets for Irish immigrants who came here on a boat. So this one here that I'm showing here for the port call of the quay in New Ross was $7 local dollars to transport yourself from Ireland to America. Quite fascinating. So I'll leave that in the show notes. You know, as a immigrant coming into America for the land of opportunity, You had to first pick a port, then you had to survive the actual crossing over the sea of the Atlantic. A lot of people died just on the journey here on the boat. And then once you get here, there's a whole slew of other things you have to survive, as well as the journey west. So not for the faint of heart. For all immigrants and settlers who came here during the 1800s, man, that must have been quite a journey. So let's keep going here. So I will also link the AI powered by micronuclear reactors, hype or not, post in the show notes, so you can take a look at that. That's where I started to analyze a lot of the nuclear energy firms, and a lot have done well. Some have spiked and did an Eiffel Tower move south. But let's keep going. What was strong? What was weak today? So in the S&P, we had NextEra Energy up 5.6, Welltower up 3.6, BXP 2.8, Lululemon 2.87, Quest Diagnostics 2.8, EPAM Systems 2.6, Estee Lauder 2.4. In the NASDAQ, you have PDD Holdings up 6.9, and Charter Communications up just under 2% for the day. What was weak in the S&P? It was a long list. I'm not going to cover all of them. CF Industries down 7.2%. Texas Instruments 7.1%. Microchip Technology, ticker symbol MCHP, down 5.4%. Mohawk Industries 4.6%. GE Vernova 4.4%. Analog Devices 4.4%. Airbnb 4.3%. Intuitive Surgical 4.2%. HCA Holdings 4.06%. Expedia 4.03%. On Semiconductor 3.5%. I'll leave the rest for the show notes for premium members. In the NASDAQ 100, the list is long too. I won't cover all of them. I'll try to dedupe from the S&P. Texas Instruments down 7.2%. Analog Devices 4.4%. On Semiconductor 3.5%. Intel 3.4%. CSX 3.3%. NVIDIA 3.23%. MicroStrategies 3.19%, NXP Semiconductors 3.1%. Now, for free members, continue to focus on the macro. Today was a confusing signal because if you watch yields being negative most of the day, you would think that the market would rally. But continue to watch yields every day. Japan is behind us. They raised rates a whopping quarter basis points. And everyone was prepared for that this time. So you want to continue to watch macro. Keep your focus on the forest and not the trees. Next week, obviously, we have more earnings coming out, but focus on the Mag 7, yields, crude, natural gas, currency pairs. Don't get too lost in the minutia of some of these YOLO type names. Free members, I'll see you all after the weekend. Premium members, please stay on. I'd like to cover some macro charts with you before we break for the weekend. That's my train.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.